Yo, what's up, guys? It's MMA Analyst here to give you my recap for UFC on Fox 3, Diaz versus Miller. Before we get down to it, first things first, shout out to Heart and Glory, clothing. You can check them out at heartandglory.com. It's a cool little shirt here. It says live, fight, love. I at least do. I'm sure we can all agree that we at least do two things on this shirt. I'm just saying. Nice little shirt, nice bag, So shout out to them. Check out heartandglory.com. Check out their clothing line. Also, we've got, so far we have 7 people who have contacted me in regards to the free betting picks. So, hit me up. There are 13 more slots. All right. So, let's get right down to it. First things first, Nate Diaz. You know what, man? What am I supposed to do? I mean, I just doubt you all the time, Nate. I always doubt you. I doubt both Diaz brothers all the time. I mean, it's unfortunate that I am that way. But it's just, I see matchups and I say, I know what these guys, what they do and what they don't do well. And I just didn't see him beating Jim Miller. I just didn't see it happening. I know he's got great jiu-jitsu. I said, obviously the way Diaz can beat him is he's got solid hands. He's got solid jiu-jitsu. So we already know what he can do. But I didn't think he'd be able to pull it off. And, man, Diaz did it again. So, mad props to Nate Diaz. I was rooting for Nate Diaz. I wanted him to win. Just like I always root for Nick Diaz. I always want the Diaz brothers to win. They're exciting fighters. They're great personalities. I don't mean like they have great personalities. I mean they're entertaining. And maybe they do have great personalities. Who knows? All I know is Nate Diaz did the damn thing. He went out there. First things first, his takedown defense was on point. When he finally let it go to the ground, his jiu-jitsu is what it is. Beautiful submission. His striking, he was killing it. Dropped Miller. Just overall, owned Miller. He owned Jim Miller. Nate Diaz owned Jim Miller. And that's good news for all Diaz brothers fans because, these dudes have problems with wrestlers. Now, Nate is back to 155. The last loss he had was against Rory McDonald, who just ragdolled him all over the cage. So, maybe he's just not strong enough to hang with the 170s. But at 155, Jim Miller is on point. Up until this fight, Jim Miller had only lost to Ben Henderson and Gray Maynard. And both those guys are big, and Frankie Edgar back in the day. And both those guys, the first two, are big, strong 155ers. And Nate just martial arted him. I'm not bigger, I'm not stronger, but my technical skills are on point. So solid win. I guess he's gonna get the title shot, and he's gonna fight the winner of the rematch, Henderson versus Edgar. Listen, do me a favor. And just give Nate the fight now. Maybe. Just, Edgar had his fight. He lost. And just move on. That is what happened, right? My mind isn't all crazy. Ben Henderson is the champ, right? All right. So, yeah, just go. Nate, get in there. Get your chance to shine. Dana, you know what you need to do. That'll be an amazing fight. I mean, not to say Edgar versus Henderson won't be an amazing fight too, but you know what you need to do, Dana. Just do it. All right. Mad props to Nate Diaz. Mad props. I was so surprised that it happened. Johnny Hendricks versus Josh Koscheck. Did Hendricks, lose this fight? Did he win this fight? He obviously won the fight, according to the judges. And in all honesty, it was a close fight. You know, it was all over the place. You know, Josh Koscheck, I think the one clear round is, to me at least, is that Koscheck won the third round. You know, that's clear. Now, anyways, with all that said, I think it was a close fight. It could have gone either way, but what you had was, you know, these guys were kind of brawling and doing their thing. But I mean, Hendricks is on the way up. Is Josh Koscheck on the way out? I don't know, but we do know Hendricks is on the way up. I mean, 2 massive wins, 2 top 5 wins. You know, the last one was over number 2, John Fitch. Josh Koscheck's been top 5 in 170 for the past few years. So, you know, big win. At this point, he has 1 loss now to Rick Story. And, you know, Hendricks, he's got to be at least 1 fight away from the title shot. I know everything's all messed up. You know, with George out in the interim title and Diaz trying to do what he needs to do and who, you know, whatever, you know. Let's see if, what's his name? You know, the killer. You know, he didn't really kill. He ran in his last fight against Nate. Let's see, against Nick. Let's see if he'll fight Johnny Hendricks. That would be good. I mean, Johnny Hendricks earned it. So make it happen, Dana. Make it happen. Josh Koscheck. I don't know, man. I don't know. Husamer Polaris, Alan Belcher. Another one that was kind of like Diaz. Like, this one's a little less shocking. Alan Belcher is a well-rounded fighter. He kind of welcomed the ground game. I mean, he got taken down, but once he got taken down, he didn't disengage once he got top position, or, you know, he just stayed in there. And yeah, well-rounded fighter. He dominated. He dominated in a sense that he shut down what Paul Harris does with his own very good jiu-jitsu. I'm watching this like, man, like this, to me, this was a very exciting fight. Because every second of this fight, like, you got to realize there's certain fights where, like, there's moments of, like, there was not a moment of this fight couldn't be over in the next split second. If Alan Belcher makes a bad mistake, just one mistake, boom, it's just, how bad is it? Is he just tapping? Is he limping out? Is he being carried out? Is he gone for 6 months? Will he ever be back properly because of surgery? So, like, it could be bad like that. And for the entire time, Polaris was just searching for that ankle, for that leg, for that knee, whatever. And Belcher the entire time was shutting it down, getting pretty close. Going himself, he went for a Twizzler, he went for the twister, he went for the banana split. He was going for all type of craziness. Like, real talk, I was sitting there like, oh, if you can pull off this banana split, that's submission of the year right there. You know what I mean? No matter what else happens this year, that would be crazy. But anyways, Polaris, it is what it is, right? He's gonna beat anybody who isn't a well-rounded, solid fighter. Alan Belcher is that. I thought that he would still be able to get it to the ground, which he did, and then fight and get that leg, which he caught it, but he didn't actually get it. So, congratulations to Alan Belcher. Pat Barry versus LeVar Johnson. I mean, it's really simple, right? Pat Barry, he doesn't have the chin. He doesn't have the chin, and he doesn't have the body type to be a heavyweight. He needs. I mean, the problem is if he went to 171, if he went to 205, then he'd just get taken down over and over and over again. Like, they can at least put him up against people who will strike with him only at at heavyweight at 220 and up. Anything below that is just a whole lot of guys that are just going to take him down and tap him. That's it. Also, any kind of advantage he may have of being fast and athletic, they also all go out the window because everybody else is also, you know, fast and athletic for the most part. So, Pat Barry, I did pick LeVar Johnson to win. You know, Pat Barry's situation in as a mixed martial artist in the UFC is just a rough one. I mean, for him, as long as he wants to get paid, then okay. But other than that, you know, there's not a lot of guys that he can go out there and outright beat who have solid wrestling or decent striking and lots of power. Because, you know, If he can knock Congo damn near senseless, and then Congo just goes doop, and that's it. He can bust up Stefan Struve, and then makes one mistake, and then he's tapped to a triangle choke, right? Christian Moorcraft, Joey Beltran, those are the guys. Dan Evanson that he's beaten. And, Mirko Krokop, old Mirko Krokop, he still wasn't able to do that. And then, Anthony Hardonk, that was his big win. That's his biggest win at this point of his career. And he needs to figure it out. He needs to figure things out because he's taking a lot of damage and he's really not going anywhere right now. Congratulations to LeVar Johnson. Next up, by the way, Strikeforce heavyweights are, Overeem kind of messed things up for you guys. But as expected, you guys are doing okay with your little, merge so far. Michael Johnson versus Tony Ferguson. Man, Johnson really impressed me here. I thought Ferguson was going to be able to outstrike him, be a better wrestler, or at least just make it a really dirty, scrappy fight and come out with the win. But that's not what happened at all. Michael Johnson did his thing. Congratulations to Michael Johnson. I don't know who he should face next. John Dodson versus Tim Elliott. That was a close one. Congrats to John Dodson. Elliott was wild, man, really wild. But I think the right guy won. It was pretty obvious. What you had was Elliott going crazy in the third, Dodson just being consistent in the first two. Congratulations to Elliott, to Dodson, and to be Elliott will be all right. All right, next, Pascal Kraus versus John Hathaway. Hathaway just shut him down. Good job, John Hathaway. Making a rise in the division. Nice underdog win for Gatineau. Nice. Congrats. What else is there to talk about? Castillo. Congratulations for that win. Not really much to talk about, I don't think. Dennis Bermudez did his thing. That was pretty good fight. Congrats. I think I'm done really talking about much. Damn, Nick Denis. Man, you let dude just come back like that. Very, very big upset. And yeah, Delorme was in trouble. And just, solid win for Delorme. I did not think he was going to be able to pull that off at all. But he did. And, in the UFC now, what's that? He's 2-0 in the UFC. Surprising. And then Nick Denis is hurting. And lastly, Carlos Vamola coming back from a first round where he just wasn't able to do what he needed to do. And then finally getting that submission in the second round. Congrats to Carlos Vamola. So there you go. What's happening next? Let's see. UFC. Let's see what's happening next. I don't even know. All right, let's see. So we just saw Fox Diaz Miller. Oh, yeah. All right. So now on the 15th, we're looking at ew. Well, it's free, though. Oh, Fabio Maldonado, he's back. That'll be a good fight. Cerrone Stevens, that'll be solid. Amir Sadala, okay. I can get Dustin Poirier chance on. That's the main card? Wow. What is this? Ultimate Fighter finale? Anyways. Yikes. Fuel TV 3. Damn, they really just putting anybody on this. All right. Anyways. And then I think May 19th or something like that? Or May something. I'm pretty sure we finally get that heavyweight finale for Strikeforce. So I'm looking a lot forward to that. The heavyweight Grand Prix tournament, whatever you want to call it. That'll be great. And then we can see what happens next with the winner and the loser of that. I really want to see both of those guys. Of course, I'm talking about Barnett and Cormier in the UFC. I want to see both of them. Win or lose, I want to see both of them in the UFC. ASAP. All right, so there you go. That's my recap. Overall, pretty decent night of fights, I would say. MMA, it's important. Peace.